Welcome back to my channel today. We explore the value of specific coins, the top 10 most valuable U.S. Lincoln wheat penny coins, value in today's market. So let's get started. First up, the 1943 Lincoln Steel Penny with the D mint mark. If you've got one of these in your collection, you might be wondering, is it actually worth something? In 1943, during World War II, copper was needed for wartime production, so the U.S. Mint switched the penny's composition to zinc-coated steel. That's why these coins have a silver-gray look. Unlike the usual copper, the D stands for the Denver Mint, where over 217 million of these steel cents were produced. So, while the 1943 D isn't considered rare in itself, condition and quality make a huge difference in value. In average circulated condition, a 1943 D steel penny is worth about 5 to 50 cents. Not bad for pocket change, right? But if you have one in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value can go up significantly. A 1943 D penny graded MSB 65 or better by a professional grading service can sell for $5 to $15, and in some rare cases, even more depending on eye appeal and demand. Now, here's the twist. If you ever come across a 1943 D penny made of copper instead of steel, don't spend it. That's an extremely rare mint error, and it could be worth over $1 million. So, check your coins, especially that 1943 D steel penny. You might have a small treasure hiding in plain sight. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment below if you've got one of these coins or want help identifying your collection. Next up, the 1952 S wheat penny had a production run of over 137 million coins. While that's a hefty number, certain conditions and errors can make specific pennies stand out to collectors. Coin grading plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. The Sheldon scale, ranging from poor P1 to mint state MS70, assesses a coin's condition based on wear, luster, and overall appearance. A damaged 1952 S penny might fall into the good G4 or very good VG8 categories, indicating significant wear but identifiable features. In today's market, a 1952 S wheat penny, in average circulated condition, is valued at approximately 15 cents. However, if the coin is damaged, say bent, corroded, or heavily worn, its value might decrease, potentially aligning closer to its melt value, which is about $0.0269 significance, and can be valuable to collectors seeking specific mint years or errors. Interestingly, a pristine 1952 S wheat penny, graded MS67 plus red, sold for $4,113 at a Heritage Auctions event in 2014. This highlights how condition dramatically influences a coin's value. So, while a damaged 1952 S penny might not make you rich, it's a tangible piece of history and a testament to the intricate world of numismatics. Next week, the 1929 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. Is this little copper coin hiding big value in your collection? The 1929 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it carries no mint mark. This coin was struck during the tail end of the Roaring Twenties, right before the Great Depression shook the world. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, this coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse, a design that ran from 1909 to 1958. So, what's it worth in today's market? As of 2025, a 1929 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine XF condition is valued at around 2 to 3 USD. While that might not seem like much, it's still about 200 times its face value, and that's just for extra fine. Uncirculated versions can go for $15 or more. If you've got one of these in your collection, store it in a protective holder to preserve its value. And if you're unsure about the grade, it might be worth getting it professionally evaluated. Next up, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, and whether it holds any value, even in damaged condition, in today's coin market. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it carries no mint mark. Over 217 million of these pennies were produced, making it a fairly common coin. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, it features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and wheat stalks on the back, a classic look for pennies minted from 1909 to 1958. Now, let's talk value. Generally, what makes a coin valuable is rarity, demand, and condition. The 1949 no mint mark penny is not rare in high numbers, so collectors look for high-grade examples, those with sharp detail and original luster. In mint state condition, these can fetch $5 to $15, or even more, depending on grading. But what about damaged coins? Maybe yours is scratched, corroded, bent, or heavily worn. Unfortunately, damage significantly reduces value. In the current 2025 coin market, a damaged 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is typically worth only its face value 1 cent, or at most around 5 to 20 cents, to a beginner collector or for bulk copper value. There are exceptions. If your damaged coin has a rare error like an off-center strike, double die, or planche issue, it could still be worth several dollars. So always double-check with a coin dealer or use a trusted online coin appraisal service. So, while most damaged 1949 wheat pennies won't make you rich, they're still a cool piece of history, and every coin has a story. If you've got one, hold on to it or share it with a young collector just getting started. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln Steel Penny without a mint mark. Is this magnetic little coin sitting in your change jar actually worth something? Let's find out. In 1943, due to wartime shortages of copper, the U.S. Mint made Lincoln pennies out of zinc-coated steel. These coins have a silver color, are slightly magnetic, and were only made for 1 year. If your penny doesn't have a mint mark below the date, it means it was made in Philadelphia, the most common variety of this coin. So, how much is a 1943 steel penny without a mint mark worth in fine condition? That's a coin with moderate wear, but all major details still visible. As of today's market in 2025, a 1943 no-mint steel penny in fine condition is worth around 20 to 50 cents. Not exactly a fortune, but it's still a cool piece of history. Next up, the 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny. Even in damaged condition, this little copper coin could be worth more than just 1 cent. Let's talk about why the 1953 D penny was minted in Denver, with over 700 million coins struck that year. It features the iconic Lincoln wheat reverse design, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Made of 95% copper, this penny has become a favorite among collectors. Now, let's talk about value, especially if your coin is scratched, worn, corroded, or bent. In heavily circulated or damaged condition, a 1953 D penny generally sells for 3 to 15 cents. That's still up to 15 times its face value. Sure, it's not going to pay off your mortgage, but finding one in a junk drawer or coin jar could still be a small win. What keeps the value up, even for damaged coins? 2 main reasons: copper content and collector demand. These pennies contain nearly 3 grams of copper, which alone gives them a base value. Plus, wheat pennies are always popular among beginner collectors. If you've got a damaged 1953 D penny, don't rush to spend it. Consider selling it on eBay, at a coin shop, or to a copper buyer. Or just keep it as part of your growing wheat penny collection. Next up, the 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny. Minted in Denver, this coin is a staple for many collectors. But what's its value in extra fine condition in today's market? Let's find out. The 1955 D penny is part of the iconic Lincoln Wheat series, produced from 1909 to 1958. In 1955, the Denver Mint struck over 563 million of these coins, making it a common find. A coin in extra fine, EF40 condition shows light wear on the highest points, but retains most of its details. For the 1955 D penny, this means Lincoln's hair and cheekbones are slightly worn. But the wheat stalks on the reverse are sharp and well-defined. So, what's it worth? As of 2025, a 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition is valued between $0.14 and $0.18. While not a fortune, it's a nice return on a 1-cent coin. While the 1955 D is common, be on the lookout for the 1955 doubled die obverse, a rare error from the Philadelphia Mint. These can fetch thousands at auction, with some selling for over $100,000. To wrap up, the 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition is a modest but cherished piece for collectors. Its value may not be sky-high, but its historical significance is priceless. Keep an eye out. You never know what treasures you might find. Next up, the 1934 penny without a mint mark, and what it's worth in extra fine condition. The 1934 Lincoln wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, which is why it has no mint mark. Over 219 million of these were made, making it a common coin overall. But don't let that number fool you. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. In extra fine, or XF condition, a 1934 penny shows only slight wear on the high points of Lincoln's cheekbone and jawline. The wheat stalks on the reverse side are still sharp, with most lines clearly visible. So, what's it worth? As of April 2025, a 1934 Lincoln penny in extra fine condition is typically valued between $2 and $4 on the collector's market. If the coin has exceptional eye appeal or original red toning, it can sometimes fetch a bit more. While this isn't a coin that will make you rich overnight, it's still a great piece of history and a solid addition to any wheat penny collection. Always check your coins for condition, and consider getting them professionally graded if they look especially clean. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and its value in extra damage condition. The 1944 Lincoln penny is unique for a few reasons. First, it was struck during World War II when the U.S. government was transitioning from using copper to steel in coin production. But today, we're focusing on a specific variant, the penny that has no mint mark. You see, in 1944, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln pennies at several different locations. A mint mark, such as a D for Denver or S for San Francisco, indicates where the coin was struck. But if there's no mint mark, that means the penny was minted in Philadelphia. The main mint now. Let's talk about what really sets this coin apart: the condition. Most 1944 pennies are fairly common and not particularly valuable, especially when they're in average condition. But if you find one in extra damage condition, it's a different story. What do we mean by extra damage condition? Well, coins in this state may have heavy wear, scratches, or other unusual markings from being mishandled or damaged over time. It's not the most pristine state, but collectors often seek out these unusual pieces because of their unique characteristics. Now, you're probably wondering, How much could such a coin be worth in today's market? Well, despite the damage, the 1944 Lincoln penny without a mint mark can still carry some value. In fact, coins with this kind of wear could range anywhere from $1 to $10, depending on the severity of the damage and the specific market at the time. In extra damaged condition, you won't see the high-end prices like those for well-preserved specimens. However, in the right market, or with collectors looking for rare anomalies, a 1944 penny without a mint mark could still fetch a decent price. So, what's the takeaway here? If you happen to stumble upon a 1944 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in your change, don't just throw it away. While it may not be worth a fortune, it could still be worth something, especially if it's in extra damaged condition. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny with the S mint mark. We'll explore its value in today's market and what makes it stand out from the rest. So, let's get into it. In 1943, the United States faced a major shortage of copper, so the U.S. Mint decided to produce pennies using steel instead. These steel pennies were created to conserve copper for ammunition and other wartime materials. Most of these pennies were struck in Philadelphia, but a small number came from the San Francisco Mint. Marked with an S, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny with an S mint mark is unique because, although it's made of steel, it carries historical value. The steel composition was intended to be temporary, but these pennies still remain a part of the U.S. coinage legacy. The S mint mark indicates that the penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, and it's one of the rarest of the 1943 steel pennies. The condition of the coin plays a major role in its worth. Even if the 1943 steel penny with the S mint mark is in a normal, dirty condition, it can still be quite valuable. Coins in average condition, or what we call circulated condition, typically range from around $10 to $15. However, if you happen to find one of these pennies in better condition, like a coin with minimal wear, or even in uncirculated condition, its value skyrockets. In top condition, a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with an S mint mark can be worth hundreds of dollars, or even more depending on the rarity and grade. As for today's market, the value of this coin can fluctuate depending on demand and the specific condition. But in general, even a penny with dirt or signs of wear can still hold significant value for collectors and investors alike. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into the hobby, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny with an S mint mark is a coin worth keeping an eye out for. It's a small piece of history with big value potential. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Happy collecting!